Oma.
Flynn.
Kellic.
March.
Shraya.
And I'm your DM, Ethan. Welcome to Venture Forth. Our game begins in the warring world of Elbor, once a thriving landscape full of wonder and adventure, but for the last 30 years, a great war has raged, dividing the people of this land. The kingdom of Kaldur, lawful and resilient, has come to accept the new gods, while the combined forces of Ondale and Genboldir fight to preserve the faith of the old gods. A flag flies high over a commander's tent, proudly waving the orange and gold colors of the nation of Ondale. The wind has picked up considerably in the last hour, rustling the canvases of the numerous tents that have been set up here. A few men and women of half-orc, dwarvish, and human descent litter the camp, attempting to keep the campfires ablaze amidst the biting cold breeze of the early morning. All but those who remain have traveled north the night before to assist in a skirmish that had broken out along the river. Those left behind are nursing injuries, from arcane burns to broken bones to mutilations much worse. The war has not been kind. The sun has just begun to rise, casting golden light and long shadows, bringing an end to another restless night. This is Coldcrest Outpost. A young half-drow stands at attention in the commander's tent, across the table from a muscle-bound half-orc in a heavy set of knight's armor. A battle map lays on the table between them. Shane, would you please describe your character for us?
Right. He stands tall, wiry, and obstinate. He's a slate grey-skinned, pointy-eared humanoid in a tattered green short-sleeved shirt and an aged, angular priestly mantle with a high collar. Secured with a rugged brown stash over black slacks is the weathered gown of a once ornamental robe that falls just shy of hefty, well-travelled boots. Resting on his neck in a V-shape over his chest is an unusual-looking trinket. It bears 3 warped metal rings in a triangle formation. His right arm is covered in recent bandages from his hand all the way up to his shoulder. He squints about with the discerning green eyes that bear the wisdom of age, but not the wrinkles, and a youthful rage despite his salt and pepper hair.
You had been zoned out for most of the conversation so far, your thoughts preoccupied with the events of the previous evening, but Commander Vash, the half-orc that you've been speaking to, quickly regains your attention.
Kellic, you are done here. Do you understand me? What is the point of having a cleric who cannot heal anybody? Please tell me that, son.
Let me answer your question with another question, Commander. What's the point of having a commander who can't command a force, who can't keep his men alive long enough for me to repair them?
It is not my job to heal people and keep them out of danger, son. It is my job to win, and we have been doing so successfully for the past 3 months here, and you are the one who cannot do your job.
Yes. It appears very successful from all the wounds I see coming through these tents every day. Let me tell you something. The deaths of these men weigh far more heavily on my conscience than yours. So don't you dare take that tone with me.
The deaths of these men are casualties of war. They are in the front line to protect the innocents that are back at home. I don't think you quite understand that.
I understand perfectly. Where do you intend to send me then, Commander? What's your great plan here?
Quite frankly...
Who will you replace me with?
Anyone. Quite frankly, I'm going to send you anywhere but here. You are a liability.
Then I have one more question for you, Commander. What did you do to deserve this? What did you do to the Church of Hymir? What did you do to earn such disfavour from the old gods? What do you think it was? Because I can tell you something. The church didn't send me here to help you. No, they sent me here for an explicit purpose. They sent me here to die. And you have somehow failed to do that. Even though you let all these other men do. You let them go into battle and lose their lives. But not me. Somehow you failed to do the one thing that the church wanted you to do to me. So, does that seem like the old gods are really in charge here? Or is something else afoot?
Despite your best efforts, I will not be dissuaded from this battle by a young and arrogant drow. Now, I do not want to see your face around here again. Do you understand me?
Where do you want me to go? I'm at your behest. If I leave here without a writ, then the church will have me hunted.
Where do I want you to go? Pick a direction.
Good luck with your war, then, Commander. And I'll knock over the figures on his battle map and stride out of the room, out of the tent.
Okay. And you leave without another word exchanged. You burst out from the tent, the cold air once again filling your lungs and creating goosebumps on your skin as you walk back towards the medical tent where all of your stuff is currently stationed.
This bloody place. And I'd like to go through the tent. Is anyone in the tent, in the medical tent?
You open up the tent. It's one of the larger tents here in camp, as it houses a lot of stretchers, a lot of medical equipment here. It just needs more space than the rest of the tents. And as you walk inside, there are 5 stretchers laid out. 2 of them are occupied with humans who you've been in the process of attempting to heal from battle wounds. And the other 3 stretchers, unfortunately, are occupied with deceased members of your company. Members who you had tried to save, but unfortunately their wounds were just too great, and they have either bled out or just succumbed to the wounds over time. You look around and you see your regular medical equipment that's always been there. You see your station, which is filled with more arcane components. And then you look over to the opposite side of the room and you see the station of your assistant, Jarnan Frosthane, the dwarven man who is more into surgeries and more of a physical healing. And you see his station filled with hacksaws and sutures and all of the components of surgery.
Jarnan's there.
He is not.
Okay.
His station is fully prepped and ready to go, but he is not there.
So I will glower over at the corpses of the lives lost, and just somberly observe them, and take a moment to watch their essence, to watch their aura, so to speak, and just tighten my fists so much that my fresh wound starts to bleed a bit on my right hand. And I will, grimacing, begin to pack my belongings in kind of a brisk fashion, making sure to take as many sort of medical kits as I can muster. I'm not sure what kind of supplies are left. But I have great use for those. And certainly will need them.
And as you are packing up all of your stuff, you look out the front of the medical tent where the doorway, the flaps are open and out towards the rolling hills off to the east. And you look out for just a brief moment and you spot 2 figures climbing over the hill off in the distance. And these 2 figures you don't recognize, but they're walking closer and closer to the camp, closer and closer to your medical tent. Russ, would you please describe your character for us?
Yeah. So over these hills, you see a younger halfling with an athletic build standing a mere 3.5 feet tall. He looks to be around his early 20s with brown hair, short on the sides and back, and messy, medium length on the top. He has blue eyes and the slight beginnings of a 5 o'clock shadow. He's adorned with studded leather armor and brown boots, draped over his left shoulder, covering part of his back and left side of his body to around the calves, hangs a pine green cloak with a hood and a brown fur collar. He carries a wooden shield, a short bow, and a small quiver of arrows on his back, over atop the cloak, and a short sword that hangs from his right hip. All of which seem to be... they look a little big for him. As he walks, he seems to absent-mindedly keep his right hand on the hilt of the sword to keep it from dragging on the floor.
And walking beside him, Cameron, would you please describe your character?
So right beside him, you see this almost tall, lanky, bird-man-looking creature, humanoid, with a wingspan that is currently tucked back, with two arms and hands that emerge from under the wingspan, the wings coming out of the back, with each hand having about 3 fingers and a thumb. 2 large talons continue to plod the earth as they walk up. The plumage of this birdman varies between burnt gold, brown, and outright gold in the accent spots. The beak has a tip that goes from brown to gold, and the very tip of it seems to glow even without the light. There is armor coming off of this birdman in the areas like the torso that's gray with a bluish kind of sparkle and tint in some of the edges and accents. You see a walking stick in his hand that seems to glow slightly pinkish. There are geometric patterns coming out of the staff that wind their way all the way up to the very top, where it seems, though, if a closer look reveals that it's not actually suspended in midair, it's being supported by the staff. There is a dully pink-purple glowing crystal at the very top. And the height of this birdman varies between about 6 feet and over 6 feet when his feathers are ruffled.
So you both are walking over this hill, and you guys are hit with that early morning daylight across your skin, and you crest the final hill and you look out into the distance and see a grouping of tents. You see Coldcrest Outpost, your destination for this part of your journey. You guys look out and you see one much larger tent that seems to be much closer to you guys than the rest of the tents, a little bit further back away from the front line. As you guys approach this grouping of tents, what would you guys like to do?
Shraya, are you doing okay after that fight? It looks like we're almost here. Where do you think we should go to get some people? That big tent?
You can never be too sure about what comes up on the horizon line. If you'd like, as my offer before to scout ahead, I can do the same thing. We have no idea the status of this outpost, or if there are friends or foe remaining inside.
Well, from my experience and stuff from the castle, they kind of said that this is a good place to go. Maybe to get some people for the problem that you're having. So I think we might be okay. Maybe we should just go check out the big tent and see if there's anyone in there. Do I see a tavern at all, DM?
No, this isn't really a like a traditional town. This is more a makeshift like army camp. A bunch of tents have been thrown together just as sort of a place to hold position and to house troops. There are no real structures here. It's all just tents that have been thrown up. Looks like over the course of maybe a couple days.
Well, I mean, I guess we just go to the big tent. I mean, are you feeling okay? after...
Yes, you're probably right. I mustn't let my fear get the better of me.
And even as I say that, I clutch the staff a little bit tighter, and the geometric patterns pulse a little bit in that pink purple color.
Don't worry, Shraya. I'm here to solve your problem. So don't worry. I got you covered. So don't you worry and don't you fear. Let's go ahead and do it.
Yes,
Let's head out.
the stature of you have me covered. Of course.
Yeah. Hey. I know what you're doing. And yeah, it tracks. I get it. Okay, let's go.
And you guys continue forward over the last rolling hill and down into this sort of valley that meets the camp just before a large river comes across your view. You guys walk down to the largest tent and you see a half-drow just furiously grabbing equipment, medical gear, and trying to just get whatever he can together. You guys walk up to the medical tent, open it up, and are greeted by Kellic.
Hey, sir, do you need help with that by chance?
Help with what? With
Collecting stuff. It looks like you have like a place to be. I don't know if there's anything help we can do here. We would be glad to help.
I look over at the corpses and just wounded people strewn about the room, and I go, There's not much helping to be done here. It's sort of beyond help, this place. Who are you? What are you doing here?
Oh, sorry. My name is Flynn Fellowweave, and this is Shraya. We've kind of come here. He's had some problems, and essentially I'm coming down here to see if I can maybe get a group together to help take care of his problem. I'm part of the Ironlight Collective, and this is my I'm a seasoned member of the Ironlight Collective, and this is definitely not my first mission to prove myself. So, yeah. And he kind of just like trails off. And,
right. Well, you seem trustworthy enough there, Flynn. My name's Kellic Grey, and I'll reach out and shake his hand with my bandaged hand.
I'll reach up to shake his. How tall are you again?
I'm 6'1".
Yeah, so I definitely reach up. Probably get on my tippy toes to reach your hand. Well, it's great to meet you.
If you don't mind, I gotta grab some things from the other just a couple steps away here, and I'll sort of meander back toward one of the patients that didn't quite make it, and there's just some bandages and leftover stuff there that I'm going to pick up, and with it I'll grab a little sickle that I use for lots of various tasks, but it's just a kind of small hand sickle, and I'll put that away. And also he's a soldier, this dead body, so he has a shield next to him that I'll also throw over my back, and I'll take a moment there and sort of look at my hand and take a look down at the necklace on my chest, and I'll sort of like whisper like, "What is this? What are you doing?" And then I'll turn back to Flynn. Right, you have a plan then? You're going somewhere, doing something.
Yes, I have a plan. But first, where else could we go? It seems like you've been here for a while. Where else could we go to find more people?
You want
is
to
there
find...
like a gathering place? I saw a bigger tent earlier. Is that where we should go to get a few more folk?
Sure. I mean, there's folk around here, but most of them are taking part in the... I don't know if you know this, there's a war going on.
I do. And yeah, I mean, so yeah, I'm just here to try and get some people because, you know, okay, I'll level with you. I'm an Ironlight Collective member, and we this is my first test to, you know, see if I can hack it, I guess. And just the scuttlebutt around with the other group of, you know, people, recruits, I guess, is to get a few people to help you on your mission. So I thought it would be a good idea to go where the soldiers were, because soldiers are strong, and bigger than me. So I thought maybe that'd be a good place to start.
Yeah.
This tent doesn't look like it has anyone that could help, though, unfortunately.
This is kind of we're on a tough time here at this particular
I'm realizing that more
strong
and more
soldier encampment. Who's your friend here again?
Oh, yeah.
She said...
This is Shraya, and he's the one that has the problem. His town, I believe, has some kind of weird magical problem. I think we passed by it, and it was kind of creepy. Shraya, if you want to explain it more, it seems like Carrick wants to help.
Kellic.
Greetings, pure of earth. You have good energy wrapping your features. I can tell that you are an enemy of the dark energies of this world. Yes?
Sure. I like to think so. These days, it's hard to say.
Yes, I have a problem combating dark energy myself. However, right now it appears that you have your hands full. I am also practiced in herbal medicine. If you need, I can lend a hand in the interim.
I just got fired, so, don't worry about it. Let him rot, eh?
You got fired? What happened?
I sort of gesture to the dead people. And, I wasn't cutting it, or...
When you gesture to them, I'll kind of walk up, put my hand on, I'll try and get it on your shoulder, but I probably get to about your hip. And I just kind of give you a sincere look. I'm like, hey, man, it's not your fault. You know, I'm sure you tried your best, and, you know, that's all you can really do at the end of the day. But, yeah, it sucks that you got fired. But, hey, now you're hired.
Right. What kind of services will you be needing from me? And you said the Iron what collective? Is this a cult? That's really my main...
When he says the Iron Light Collective, and he kind of straightens his little coat and gets all proper looking, it's like, well, the Iron Light Collective is a... You don't know about the Iron Light Collective?
DM, do I know?
You would not know.
Okay.
No.
I just stare at him blankly.
They're pretty great. It's... if I'm divulging too much, they're kind of like a monster hunting group, and they keep people safe, and I'm just trying to become part of that, because I want to adventure, and I want to do cool stuff, and yeah.
I don't blame you, Earthwalker. I thought the same thing when he described it to me.
Yeah, so Shraya, you're not part of this thing. You're not a monster.
I have been enlisted in my own way. I am from a land very, very far from here. Across many mountain ranges and oceans and valley fords. But I am here to combat as much dark energy as I can. The only problem is, with what currently ails the lands that I come from and the lands here, it appears we're having trouble even identifying or tracking down the source of this dark energy and this seemingly haunted creatures of these lands. It appears you might be able to help us. Perhaps identify and perhaps you might know a thing or two about what these origins of this energy might be.
I've been fighting darkness all my life, so that does appeal to me.
That's sad.
It wasn't always. It wasn't always as sad as it is now. Right. Well, DM, do I know of anywhere people do gather to find? Are there places where travelers stop here?
In the time that you've been here at this camp, you haven't seen too many travelers come through. Most of the travelers who have come by have mostly just lost their way, and you guys have to sort of show them back to the path, right. Back to civilization. This is right on the warfront, and not really a place where adventurers come necessarily. This is a place for soldiers and for battle.
Well, all I know is I need to get out of here before I'm further reprimanded.
Right.
So perhaps it's best we make our way out.
And as you say that, off in the distance, more a little bit towards the river, you don't see Jarnan, but you hear his voice as he is making his way towards the tent with quite a bit of haste. And you hear, Kalik! I need your help!
I am happy to oblige, Jarnan. What can I do for you?
And he runs up and he bursts through the tent, and you see him now covered in sweat, and he's got his distinctive sort of medical robes, very white but stained with blood and almost brown at this point from just all of the dirt and blood and muck that he's been through. He comes through and there's sweat on his brow, and he says, I just found 2 bodies down by the river. I tried to get them on stretchers, and I dragged them sort of up here, but I just can't do it myself. I need you to help me bring them up. They're not in good shape, and they're not soldiers. I don't know who they are, but I need your help to bring them back.
Of course.
Can you come help me?
Hi, I'm Flynn Fellowweave. Can I help as well?
Hi, Flynn. The more the merrier.
Let's go.
Yeah, as many hands as possible. And he runs back out the tent with quite a bit of haste.
All right.
I try to keep up with my little legs.
Okay.
Yeah.
He is a dwarf, so your stride is sort
Perfect.
of keeping
Great.
with his stride.
I'm definitely going to be matching slightly ahead. I want to get there first.
For sure. Shraya, are you coming?
I sort
along
of
too?
hesitantly look the guy up and down, shrug, and follow at a little bit of a back pace, a little bit of a couple lengths of people back.
Okay. You guys all run through the mess of tents, and the ground is like muddy and mucky from the river that's nearby. And yeah, for sure, your feet are definitely getting stuck every once in a while. But he leads you up to just off of the riverbank, and you guys could see a boat that has been washed ashore there. And you can see Jarnan has already brought out 2 stretchers and has put these 2 bodies onto the stretchers. These 2 bodies are very different in their sizes. And as you guys run up and attempt to grab one of these stretchers, Rebecca, would you please describe your character?
Absolutely. You see on the stretcher a slight, small woman. You think maybe if she were standing, she'd reach about 4'5". She's not very tall. She's got tangled, dirty, long brown hair tied in a plait that's thrown over her shoulder. She wears a faded yellow hooded cloak that ends at about her waist, held together by a leather knot under her neck. Below that are simple tied pants, worn boots. Her wrists are wrapped like that of a fighter, but nothing she wears appears to be of any value, especially now that it is tattered and burnt. Below the leather tie of her cloak, you can sometimes catch the glimpse of a red gem. But upon closer inspection, even through the dirt and grime and smoke and fiery soot, you see a rosiness and softness to her features that is uncommon in someone who should be out here. In fact, she looks far too young to be out in a place like this, looking like this. You notice that this pale, short human is actually just a child.
And she lays there unconscious on the stretcher next to another unconscious body much larger than hers. Bridget, would you please describe your character?
In the adjoining stretcher, sort of directly next to what appears to be a child, there is what is no mistake a Goliath. She is roughly 6'5", 6'6". She's incredibly pale. And through all the muck and gunk of her hair, you can tell that it is this striking forest green color that is all the way twisted down to her back. with this white streak that is just caked with mud and blood. She's got these pale runes that through the mud and the gunk, you can kind of see on her skin. And that skin, again, is so pale that if she wasn't breathing every once in a while, you wouldn't really be able to tell if she was actually still alive. She's got this chainmail that you can tell she has not taken off in quite some time, with a necklace that you just can't make out because it's tucked in on the other side. Her clothing, even through all this muck and this gunk and everything, you can kind of tell that she wears it to try and blend in, to hope that you can't really tell exactly what it is. And she's got a strap around her carrying weapons, and she's got javelins kind of hanging out to either side, and a warhammer as well as a shield. And over the top of her chainmail is a dark, weather-torn leather jacket and just boots below. And she kind of has obviously recently healed wounds that are clearly underneath the even more recent wounds.
And Jarnan looks over at Kalik and he says, Kalik, why don't you help me with the big one, and you two, can you guys take the other stretcher and we can just get him back up to the tent?
Is there anything, as we look at them here, is there anything like urgently in need of?
Make a medicine check for me as the first roll of the campaign.
Woo! I was wondering if I could help him. Or if not, that's totally cool. I was going to run up and help him alongside him and ask him if there's anything I could do.
Do you have proficiency in medicine?
I'm not proficient in medicine. I just have a +2.
Yeah, so it would just be him to do it.
No problem.
I could help him if need be, but I am kind of hanging back a little bit. I'm a little bit distrustful of what's going on.
Okay, yeah. Kalik, how did that go for you?
That is a 15.
Okay.
A 15. Okay. You're looking over. Which body are you looking over?
I'm going to look at the child first.
The child first?
Yeah.
Looking at the child, she looks to be mostly healthy, obviously breathing. You check her pulse. Everything seems to be fine. She does seem to have a series of burns on the front of her body. Not anything too deep, nothing too serious, something that could probably be healed fairly quickly. But it seems that they're both unconscious due to probably exhaustion and not having these wounds treated recently.
All right. Okay. And how's the Goliath look?
The Goliath looks just about the same.
Right.
Looking over the Goliath, though, you notice the burns aren't quite as severe. The burns aren't quite as deep, and it's only just on one side of her. Looking over, you notice on her shoulder, on the little the side of her that's burned, you notice 3 shards of something lodged deep into her shoulder.
Oh my! I kind of give Jarnan a look, and then I'll look over to sort of where he dragged them from, and I'll just be like kind of searching for some kind of explosion, just really confused at the kind of wounds and the where they're coming from, the river. And I'll be like, all right, let's hustle. Let's get these back. Who's gonna help? Jarnan, you're gonna help me with the big one?
I can help you with this one. Yeah, if the other two can get this one.
Flynn, can you handle a child?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna suggest. Let's do it.
Okay.
Shraya, help me out with this.
Do I hear him calling over to me? Okay.
Yes, yeah, you're pretty close. You're keeping your distance, but you're still close
All right,
enough.
my feathers are
within
going
your
to
shot.
just slightly shift back a little bit, then I'm going to smooth them back down. I'm going to use my hands to grab the other side of the pressure.
Okay. Shraya, as you pick it up, it's a little bit of like a seesaw. It's tilting a little bit up towards you as Flynn just can't really get the height on it. But you guys are able to continue moving as the body that you are carrying is fairly light. Kalik and Jarnan, however, are struggling a little bit with the the muscle-bound Goliath that you guys are carrying. But you guys, again, slosh through the mud back to the medical tent and are able to make it there within a couple minutes and put the stretchers on top of tables.
As we're moving them, I'm like hurriedly discussing with Jarnan like the procedure that we're going to be taking to address like the shards stuck in her shoulder and stuff.
And he looks to you and he goes, Kalik, do you want to take one of them and I can take the other? What do you think? Do you think these look like arcane burns or some sort of fire? Do you want to take this or should I?
I kind of blanch and have to take a second. I've got it. I'll handle it. I can handle this one. The girl seems slightly less wounded, so maybe you can look after her.
I can look after them both. While I'm doing my work, just remember we've got all of our supplies in there. I think we've got only 4 healing potions left, so use those sparingly in the tent. All right?
Of course. I mean, that's a last resort.
Of course. And he sort of helps you carry these stretchers back and put them on the table, and you now have these 2 bodies laid on your medical tables.
All right, so I set about trying to remove the shards that are in the shoulder, and then I will take a very, very deep breath and nervously exhale. And I will place my hands on the shoulder, on the wounds, on the burns. And I will whisper, Manere, and attempt to cast Cure Wounds.
Okay. Which order are you doing this in? Are you taking the shards out first or are you healing first?
Taking them out first. So
okay, I'm going to have you make a sleight of hand check with some of your medical equipment to see if you can get these little shards out of her shoulder.
Okay. That's good. That's good.
Appreciated.
24.
24, nice.
Oh, wait, sorry. Sleight of hand? Sorry.
Yes.
It's just a dirty 20.
Okay, still very good. So yeah, you reach in and very careful not to disrupt any of the blood flow or anything like that, trying not to make the wounds any worse than they currently are. You're able to very carefully pick out these 3 shards, and as you're picking them out, they are covered in blood and obviously sort of tough to see, but as some of the blood drips off, you can see a faint white glow from within each of these shards. It's very dull, even after you rub off some of the blood. And you take them out and you're able to put them onto the operating table next to her.
Got one of those little metal tins. Drop it in and...
Definitely.
Clink.
For sure. And then after that, you cast Cure Wounds, correct?
That's right.
All right. You can go ahead and cast that.
That is, you get 10 points of health back.
10 points of health
and
back.
as it does, the wounds themselves, they almost appear to burn at the edges, like they have a slight orange glow to them, like a dull orange glow, and almost as though it's like little black flecks of dust begin to like assemble coming out of the orange glow, and as they do, they reform the skin and the damaged areas, and flicker as they almost like blow away like dust in the air.
And as they do, all of the wounds close, all of the burns completely heal over, and March, you spring back to life with a breath in your chest, and you are now conscious.
And I exhale with like such great like relief and just yes.
Kayla, good job, dude.
Oh, thank you.
Who the hell are you guys? Where's Alma? Where is Alma? Where's Alma? Where is she? Where?
Alma has this. She doesn't happen to be a child, does she?
Yeah, I mean, call her that.
It's all right. It's all
This one
right.
right here?
Yeah. Oh my god. Is she Oma? Oma, what's going on? What?
She's not
gonna-
conscious yet. You're in
she's
some
gonna
kind of
try and
accident.
Kind of like get up, but she's gonna like
I
a little
will.
bit back.
I will gently push her back down. Just be like, just take a moment. You're going to be fine.
Who the hell are you?
My name is Caleb Gray. I'm a doctor. You've had some kind of accident. We've just now begun your treatment. So I think you're going to be in fighting shape in no time.
Oh yeah, we did. Oh yeah. Yeah. She's like kind of talking to herself, like, oh fuck. Oh yeah. Okay. What? How long have I been out?
We don't know. We found you on the riverbed. Jarnan here probably saved your lives. Jarnan, how does the child look? Is Alma? I take it. Is she doing all right?
You look over, and he is in the process of putting a mixture of herbs and looks like crushed up flowers on top of the burned areas of her skin, and then putting wet towels and cloths over those burns. And he looks back at you and he says, "Well, I'm sort of doing more of a long-term solution here, but it looks pretty surface level, so this isn't really my thing. I'll go over and grab one of the healing potions. I know you might be pretty drained after that." And he walks over to the medical counter where you can see there are 4 healing potions there on the counter. He grabs one, uncorks it, and runs back over to the little girl on the table and sort of tilts her head back, opens up her jaw, and pours the healing potion down her throat. And with that, you see her burn marks begin to completely heal and heal over. And with that, Olma, you burst back to life with a breath in your chest, and you are now conscious.
Breathe. Olma.
March.
I'm here.
March?
I'm here.
She sees like dwarves and halflings and birds and pale elves. March, where's Ire? Oh my gosh, she's gonna be so mad at me. Oh no, what did I do? Oh no. Oh no, are they coming? Are they okay?
No.
Did they get out? Oh,
I managed to get you, and that was it.
Were there others? Should we be looking for other bodies? Was anybody with you?
Probably not.
I don't know. If they were with us, they would have been there. And if they weren't with us, they're gonna find us soon.
So we should probably
March, let's go. We gotta go.
Yeah, if this has been great. I really appreciate you, small beings, and except the what bird. Hey, what's up? How you doing? You look great. But we should. I thank you very, very much for all of this assistance. Kalik. Thank you, sir. That was great. If there's food and water, we will grab it and be on our way.
Hi, excuse me. I'm Flynn Fellowy. Did you guys say are you in trouble or something? Is there any...
Here it
you guys
goes.
okay?
All right.
Marshalline. Actually, the name's Marshalline. If you ever call me that, I will step on you. Please call me March.
Not sure
Thank
why you told me your full name if you don't want me to call it, but okay, sure. March, got it.
I thought you were a child. I'm sorry.
That happens. I understand. Nope, I'm a halfling, so similar but different. Are you guys in trouble?
You
Do you need
half
help?
my height. And she's gonna kind
Here,
of
take this water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
Alma,
know.
take it.
Are we in trouble?
Alma,
Is it difficult?
don't say anything.
We're not in any trouble.
No,
Everything's
we're fine.
We're just gonna.
This has been great. You
yeah.
look great. We should do this every Tuesday. And I'll bring the wine next time. It'll be fine.
We're not going to stop you from leaving. I mean, there's no reason to detain you here. You just be careful. Don't take any part in any more explosions.
I have a question. Where exactly are we?
Yes.
This is Coldcrest. It's a military encampment. It's a sort of a a forward facing base for
But like,
ongoing
which
combat.
side of the war? Could you be a little bit more specific about where we are?
the old gods. Does that work? Does that help you?
So we're in Kaldur.
You guys are currently in Ondale.
Ondale.
Yeah, that's what okay.
Great.
I was like, are we in Ondale or Gamble Deer? I couldn't remember.
Yeah, it was one of those two.
Ondale.
Ondale.
Got it. March, I don't really know how to get back where we were.
Do we want to get back where we were all
No.
No.
Is there are you guys is there towns nearby? Is there like somewhere we can, I don't
Preferably with
want to be
alcohol?
with soldiers necessarily, but
Not very near. DM, where's the closest town? Do I know? I've come from there, right?
Yeah, you've come from there. You would know that the closest town is actually Addersfeld, just to the east. It's about a day and a half travel, but there is a main road that goes from Coldcrest to Addersfeld.
Yeah, you could go to Addersfeld. There's a good, decent community there. Decent group of folks. I don't know what you're running from, but whatever you need, you could probably find it in Addersfeld. I've spent a lot of time there.
Great. Did you want to go back? If you're bored.
do you know how to get there?
Yeah.
I do.
Oh, you do. Who
Yes,
are you?
I am Flynn Fellowweave. I think I may have said that already. But I'm part of the Ironlight Collective, and their castle is in Adderfeld. And I was actually sent with the bird friend here, Shraya, and I'm helping him with a problem. And I've been looking for people to help me with his problem, and Kalix's helping.
What's the problem?
DM, would we have heard of Ironlight Collective in relation to the Hallowguard?
You guys can make a history check for me.
Does anyone know?
May not know. Never let you forget.
secret. DM, am I okay to make a check as well?
You are, yes, you're good to make that.
I got a 10.
I got a 19.
10.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, nice. Oma would not have heard of the Ironlight Collective. March would have. You would know that there's just like a smattering of members here and there. It's not a very big organization. You've come across one or two in your day. They just seem to be very distant, sort of lone wolf types, but pretty good hunters and trackers.
Oh, okay. You know what? Let's back up for just a second. You were saying that the man in the corner with the feathers, he's got a problem. What is this problem?
Yeah.
You're talking about?
So apparently there's some kind of magical essence or problem in his hometown, and I've been tasked, as definitely not my first mission, to help him fix that problem. And I know you guys said that you're running, I guess, from someone, or maybe someone's after you. I can protect you if you come with us and help us with the problem, and then I can help escort you back to Addersfeld once we finish.
Where is this hometown of yours, Shraya?
My hometown is not very... My ancient home is very far from here, but where I've been spending my recent days is not far from here at all. But before we get into my troubles,
I go over and I look at March.
those items you have on your back, those javelins, I would very much like to examine them a little bit more closely if I could.
Shraya's got a thing about auras and such, so you might just want to oblige him.
Yeah, but
You want me to just hand you a
March
javelin?
doesn't really give her items to people, especially her weapons. She kind of has a thing about that.
I've
What
been
if I give
They're
you
studying
my
really
short sword,
personal.
since I even took a closer look while she was unconscious, so I hope that's
You
not a
did
problem.
what?
Don't say
I'm
things
s-
like
I'm
that,
sorry.
Shraya. Don't. Oh, man.
You did what while I was unconscious? And she's gonna look down and like make sure that she's like got clothes on still really quick and be like, I'm sorry, what happened, sir? What was your name? You are a bird and I am taller than you. What is happening? You want to look at my javelins? You just want me to give you weapons?
I only saw the top part of them poking out. And I've seen very similar ones before. I've even made some before, and I always have an eye toward decent craftsmanship.
You should have started with that, man.
Yeah, you really should have led with that. I would have gladly been like, yeah, take a look at this. But now
as a craftsman, yeah, of course, a craftsman's recognize good craftsmanship. But like, maybe lead with that next time.
I do apologize. Some of the customs you Earthwalkers have are a bit lost on me, and the order of operations is something I'm still learning.
I'm sorry, Earthwalkers. Is that a new? What's an Earthwalker? I'm so sorry. I don't understand.
She's very small.
The creatures like yourselves who primarily walk the earth on 2 legs and 2 feet.
Aren't you standing on the earth right now? So aren't you technically an Earthwalker right now? Like, in this moment, aren't you technically Earthwalking?
Shraya, show him. And I'll do this with my hands.
Well, it is not my preferred mode of getting around.
And are we still inside?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just going to leave it at that.
I kind of give Jarnan a long look. And I will sort of look outside too to see if there's any risk of anyone coming in here, and I'll sort of pull Jarnan aside to say to just be like, so just so you know, I have to leave here. Commander Vash. I'm pulling Jarnan aside. I'm not talking to you.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. she's very rudely like eavesdropping, and you're like, she's like, oh, sorry, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Commander Vash took some issue with my work as of late, and so you're going to be on your own here for a spell. Not sure.
No.
Yeah,
you can tough it out.
He was pretty adamant, and I may have said a few things that might not have endeared me to him for much longer anyway.
Oh, yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, he's a pretty short-tempered guy.
Hey, listen. You've been amazing to work with. I know you've sort of been hitting a rough patch here, but I've really enjoyed working with you. You've got a good heart, and it's going to be tough without you. I'm gonna have a tough time finding a replacement. So if this is really it, I wish you luck on your travels. But you've been amazing to work with. So thank you.
I'm so thankful to have met you, Jarnan. I hope our paths cross again. Please be safe out here.
I will, and don't let the last couple days and couple weeks keep you from thinking of all the lives that you've saved before. Just because you lose a few, and in this line of work you do lose a few, you will lose a few. Don't let those keep you from thinking of all of the people that you've saved. That's it. That's all I got.
That's all I need. I appreciate it. Yeah, be careful with those other clerics. You know, they're not all good eggs. I'll kind of
I'll be hard pressed to find one as good as you. And he turns around and sort of goes back to mixing some herbs and some.
We do a very masculine, shoulder pat. Goodbye.
DM.
Yes.
Do I see? Like, if I take a look around the area, do I see anything that seems like it would be helpful to me in the future, like health potions, like things like that? Do I see anything that looks unmanned?
Yeah, make a perception check.
Could I also do one for any type of thing that would signify where we are? Like, something that has Coldcrest on it, maybe a piece of paper that's a medical piece of paper in the trash, or utensil that has the name on, any type of like souvenir, I guess.
Yeah, you can make a perception check too.
Okay.
That's a 9 for me.
A 9. You see some medical equipment everywhere. You do actually see the 3 remaining healing potions. Those are just sort of laid out right on the front table there. Those are not hard to spot. But anything beyond that, you don't really know what it is even.
Are there a lot of people by the health potions?
Everyone is sort of in the middle of the room right now,
Got
and the healing potions are off in the corner, so no one's really anywhere near.
So I'm making a plan in my head. I'm formulating it. So while people are talking and figuring out the next move, I have that series of numbers going on in my head of trying to process whether I can get away with this. But as we leave, or as I know I'm about to leave soon, we don't tend to stay in places long, so I would like to be calculating the best chances of me swiping some healing potions as I exit.
Okay. So as everyone begins to leave, when that happens, we can get to that.
I'm planning it in my head.
All right. What was the souvenir check for?
So I only got a 6. So I guess maybe, what do I see? I guess
you find some trash and then
in general. What's on the table?
An apple from Jarnan's lunch. You look around. It's mostly medical equipment. Nothing that is necessarily stamped with a Coldcrest. Crest.
What's the name of the dwarf again?
Jarnan Frostthane.
I'll just walk up to Jarnan and I'll kind of, whenever he's not busy talking to Kalik or anyone else, and I'll just kind of, excuse me, sir?
Yeah?
This sounds weird, and it probably is, but I'm kind of a bit of like a collector, and I'm just curious, do you guys, I don't know, is there anything here that I could maybe take that sounds bad. I'm looking for anything that's kind of like a souvenir, just to kind of like commemorate my travels as, as like a remembrance for my first, time going out. Is there anything you guys have that, I don't know, like a pincer thing or like forceps or something? I don't know. Does this sound dumb?
Are you trying to be quiet, Russ, or are you like just
I'm just
shouting?
talking to
Can we
him.
all hear this?
Yeah, probably.
I want to, while I hear that, I want to turn to March and say, I thought he said this wasn't his first mission.
I'm pretty sure he's full of shit. He looks younger than you, Alma. Come on now.
I gotta just like shrug at Jarnan, like, I don't know, give the lad a pair of pliers. Like, I don't know. There's gotta be something we don't need anymore, right?
Let's give him a t-shirt.
And he looks around and he's searching for something, and then his eyebrows go up. And I've got the perfect thing. You're gonna love this. And he runs over and he opens up a drawer, and he's got 3 little stamps, like when you stamp wax into a letter to seal it up. He's got 3 stamps, and they've all got sort of a military crest on it that symbolizes Coldcrest Outpost. And he's got 3 of them, and he hands you one of them, and it looks a lot older. The imprint on the bottom where you press it into the wax looks a little bit warped and is probably not as deep as it once was. And he goes, here, you can have this. I was actually just going to throw this one out. I got a new one this morning. I use this to stamp all of my medical documents and send those back up to the main fort. You can take this if you want.
This is perfect! And I take it. Thank you so much. This is perfect. And I'll pull my bag off, all happy and excited that I was successful, and I'll open it up and just chuck it in the bag, close it, tie it up, throw it on my bag.
Looking at Flynn, can I tell how old he is? Does he seem like very young or just very exuberant?
He's in like his early
DM,
20s.
Can I retroactively make a while this has been happening?
20.
Yeah. Yeah, what would you like to do?
While this has been happening, I will have been getting increasingly uncomfortable. They may or may not have seen me slip out of the tent and fly down to the river to wash off the mud and muck off my talons and like lower ring of feathers. But for those who haven't noticed, I do this and then come back slightly dripping on my way back. I don't know how long it took for this to transpire, but my flight speed is pretty. I have a feeling I might have been able to take care of this while this.
Yeah, for sure. While all this has been happening, you've had plenty of time. The river isn't too far away. You've been able to go down, sort of wash off, and then come back. And right as you step back through the flaps of the tent, Kellic, you, with your passive perception, begin to hear just like a slight rattling of metal. And it's almost like something's vibrating two pieces of metal together. And you sort of look around and you look back to the little tin that you put those crystals in that you took out of March.
Oh, no.
And you can see one of them, two of them look just about like they did with a dull white glow. One of them, however, is beginning to vibrate and beginning to glow a little bit brighter and brighter. And as it is, you notice that this one is cracked, unlike the other two. This one has a slight crack running through it. And it begins to glow brighter and brighter and brighter, and then it shatters within the tray. And from the tray, a wisp of white smoke comes up from where the crystal was. And it wisps around the room. And at this point, everyone begins to notice this ghostly wisp flying around the room, almost searching. And it makes its way over to one of the dead bodies that's on the tables. And it makes its way over, and it hovers above a smaller human who is deceased. And it moves over to the next one, and it moves to a pretty well-built elf. And then it moves over to the next one to a massive half-orc that is laying dead on the table. And then it rushes towards his face, fills his nostrils and his mouth as the half-orc springs back to life. You can see a hole in his chest where the wound was that he died, about half a foot across, 6 inches, a hole straight through his chest as he bursts back to life. And he sits up on the table, grabbing everyone's attention. And he looks down at his hands. And he looks back and forth as he opens his hands and closes his hands, getting refamiliarized with the muscles and how they work. And he looks over to all of you. And he looks confused. And he looks over each one of you guys. And he opens his mouth to speak. But the voice that comes out is not that of a massive half-orc. It's that of a woman. And the voice emanates as they're looking down at their hands and goes, "Oh, this is interesting. Oh, this is very interesting. Wow, this is new. Where am I?" As she looks to the group.
I sort of look around like, anybody want to take this?
What sort of mismatched creature is this?
Was that body unconscious? Like, did it just wake up, maybe?
What manner of spirit are you?
I just point to the hole when Alma says that in his chest. I don't know.
She looks down at her chest now, and she sees the massive hole that has begun to rot from the death that has occurred. And she goes, "Oh, well, wasn't expecting that. It's not ideal, but, you work with what you get. Now I'll ask again, where am I?"
You're in Coldcrest in Undead.
Ondale.
Why did you come here? Well,
Okay.
what manner of creature are you?
Ondale, I can make that work.
What are you?
Well, I'm obviously not what I once was, but I don't think I can stay like this. I'm going to take my leave. Unfortunately, I can't have any of you knowing that this has transpired. So I will leave you with goodbye and good luck. And she waves her hand as some magical energy emanates from the half-orc fingers. And a spark of yellow energy bursts the other 3 unconscious bodies back to life as well. As you hear, And you can see the 3 unconscious bodies that were previously dead or unconscious. Limbs begin to pop back into place, and wounds begin to slightly heal over, but with a necrotic look to them. And they gargle and wake up and hop off the tables. And she looks to the rest of you, and she says, "Goodbye and good luck." And she hops off of the table and steps back through a dimension door that sucks her body away.
I like to prep shillelagh.
As you are just about to prep it, we are going to begin initiative. So everyone roll initiative as you guys are staring down 3 zombies.
I'm fine.
DM, while she was kind of chatting, could I have looked in that tin where the shard energy magic came out of? Are the other ones, are they vibrating? I just kind of wanted to take a look over as she was talking to Kalik.
Yeah.
Were they moving? Were they?
It's not tough to see. The other 2 are dormant, it seems. A slight white glow to them, but that's the same as when Kalik took them out of March.
This may be too much, but as they were talking, could I have taken a clipboard or a piece of wood and just slowly, as she was talking, just lift it up and place it on top of the tin to cover it, thinking that that's going to help?
Yeah, you can make a stealth check.
Sure. Yeah, I'll just as they're talking, what the fuck is this? And I'm trying to cover it up with something, thinking that's going to stop it from coming out. Ooh, that's actually really good. You said what? Stealth? Sleight of hand?
Stealth.
Hold on.
Yeah, it's stealth because you're actually going to have to move over, grab an item, and then put it over there.
21.
Nice.
21. Yeah, you're able to grab just a little plank of wood and put it over the tin. So with that, I am going to be taking initiatives. Olma, what's your initiative?
8.
8. Nice. Flynn, what's your initiative?
17. 17.
Shraya, what's your initiative?
5.
March.
15.
What was that?
15.
15. And Kellic.
22.
2. Nice.
Yeah, it was a natural 20.
Nice.
You did it too early.
I know. It's useless in initiative.
Okay, so with these 3 zombified corpses now hopping off of the table, you guys are all about 10 feet away from these zombies. Kellic, what would you like to do? You are first in the initiative.
Oh, man, I had to be first. All right.
It's definitely not where you want the cleric.
Yeah.
I will, I'm going to clench my right hand around my amulet and I'll begin to mutter under my breath, Ex Coquo, and I will cast Toll the Dead.
Okay.
Nice.
With my newfound strength.
Nice.
That is a wisdom save.
A wisdom
that they
save.
have to. How many are there?
There are
elf.
3.
There's the elf, the human, and one more.
There's an elf and 2 humans.
Elf and 2
Yes.
humans. All right. So, yeah, I'll use it on the elf because why not? Why
Okay.
not discriminate?
I mean, you're an
Okay,
elf, so
a
yeah.
wisdom save, that is going to be a 4 for their
All
wisdom.
right, that is a fail. So that's nice. I got maximum. I did. That's 8 necrotic damage. The wounds that he has already that have sort of healed slightly, they begin to sort of glow with that same orange color, and with flecks of white light as well, and it almost looks like he's cooking. There's steam is coming off, and from those dusty flecks, ashes begin to blow out from them, and those wounds begin to just pull even further apart from where they were before. As he takes that damage, the 8 necrotic damage.
He does not seem to be enjoying that as his now newly corporeal form again is beginning to be torn apart. Is that the end of your turn?
I turn to Darnan and I just say, now they get up. Now they start to heal. Of course. And that is my turn.
All right. Jarnan looks back and he doesn't say anything, but he just gives you one of those shrugs like, hey man, what are you going to do? Next up on the initiative is Flynn. What would you like to do?
Ooh. So there's 3 kind of like, how far away are they?
They're all 10 feet away from you.
10 feet. And he just kind of damaged one of them. I saw that happen.
Yeah.
Well, I'll pull out my short sword and I'll take my shield out and I'll run up and hit the one that Kayla hit.
Nice. Okay. Make an attack roll.
Sure. Ooh, that's not bad. With my short sword, it's a 21.
21 definitely hits.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, I'll come up to it, and these things look like undead, or do these other bodies seem to have been risen from the dead?
Yeah, very
Okay.
clearly
Okay.
they were dead, now they are not.
I just want to make sure that I'm like not attacking like a innocent civilian. Okay, damage is 11 points of piercing damage as I run up and just thrust it into the chest.
Nice. And it really did not enjoy that as you stab it through the chest.
And I'll can I position myself so that I'm like, are they next to each other or are they spread out?
They're almost right next to each other.
I'll kind of position myself, pull my shield up, put my sword on it, kind of like 300, where they like put their shields up and put the sword or spear right on top of it and like get into like a
Nice.
phalanx part. I'll do that right in front of the one I just attacked and then kind of pivot. So like I'm in melee with at least 2 of them. And I'll just kind of, you see like Flynn kind of gets serious, like, all right, fun time's gonna have to wait. And he like gets ready. He's like, all right. And that's his turn.
Okay. And as you get ready, the zombie that you just attacked and pulled your sword out of is going to lunge forward and attempt to claw at you.
Go
with
for
its hands. That is going to be a 11 to hit.
Nope. I'm gonna try
No.
and block it with my shield.
All right. He reaches out with both of his hands, and you're able to deflect his attack with your shield. That is going to be his turn. Next up, March. What are you going to do? You got 3 zombies in front of you.
March. Okay, just to clarify, have we identified which zombie just attempted to attack Flynn? Like you
Yes,
said, there was 1 elf and 2 humans, correct?
Yes, the elven zombie is the one that has been damaged and tried to attack Flynn.
Okay, and that's one that Kalik has also damaged. So the other 2 have not in any way.
That is correct.
Okay, so I am going to whip out my warhammer and briefly look over at Shraya and say, this is why I don't just hand over weapons to people. Why are you all wet? And then run towards one of the human zombies and attempt to just get him.
Okay, make an attack roll.
I forgot that he went to the river to clean up.
That is a natural 20.
No!
Yes.
Oh, super big. Nice.
Okay,
Really into
so
this.
that is a critical hit.
New dice.
New dice.
Really into
So
this.
New dice.
I'll
me.
explain. I'll explain real quick our critical hit rule. So in order to have a little bit more oomph to the critical hits, we are taking the maximum amount of damage on the dice and just maxing that out for the first roll, and then the second roll you actually roll the dice and then add the modifiers. So that is going to be, what's the die that you're rolling now, March?
It will be, so it is a 1d8 plus 4. So you're saying automatically max damage is 12?
Automatically, max damage is 12, yes. And then you are adding your rolled damage.
Got it.
That's so huge. That's gonna.
Just gonna blast it.
Yeah.
9 plus 12, 21.
20 points of damage. How are you swinging at this thing with your warhammer?
I basically wanted to just kind of pull it out, have my shield up, make my sassy remark to Shraya, and then just come up on the right side of it, trying to go straight towards its cheek, thinking to myself, don't you have to hit zombies in the head to kill them? And that's sort of my mentality is I want to go right for the cheek teeth area.
Nice. So you get down and you swing from low to high, and your warhammer makes perfect contact with his chin. And as it does, the chin completely shatters, and most of its, like half of its face and most of its forehead go flying off. And you can actually see into this thing's head, and you can see its brain still a little bit there as it's writhing around, as most of its face and head is gone, and it's just barely hanging on. Just barely hanging on. Is that going to be your full turn?
How far away is Flynn from me at this
I'm like
point?
Right next to her now, right?
Yeah, wouldn't we be kind of... Okay.
You are right next to him, yeah.
I'm just going to look at Flynn and be like, do you see its brain? That's just gross. I'm just...
Yeah, that was good. I'm going to have to try that next time.
Just put that up, and also at the same time kind of trying my eyesight to look for where Alma is, but that's all I'm going to do.
Okay, and with
Focus
that,
up, March, me and you, and I'll kind of like get an extra.
With that, it is Alma's turn. What would you like to do?
So Alma's still on the bed that she was healed on. She's just like sitting up and like just staring at everything.
Little glass of water.
And this whole time she was thinking about like how before the zombies started, she was like, how am I going to steal this health potion? And now she's like, I'm going to use my movement to get onto my knees on the bed.
Okay.
So like I'm just like crouched on the bed. And I want to take in the scene. I want to see March in melee with two of them. Flynn in melee with the other two. Is that like
yeah, that's sort of how it is. It's Flynn and March right up against these three zombies.
Okay, so I know what just happened to myself, so I put my hand on my burns that have mostly healed, and I kind of call out in a worrying voice, March, and I rub my hands together, and I say, duck! And I throw this, like, warbling mass of energy that's multicolored. It's changing color regularly. It's going from blues to reds to greens and sickly greens and browns and it's been thrown.
Okay. Awesome. So are you going to need something from me
roll.
on that?
No, I
Okay,
need to
perfect.
roll to hit.
So roll that damage. Or roll to hit. Sorry.
Yeah, so to hit, that is 23.
Oh yeah, 23 definitely hits.
And it is a spell, so I need to roll for wild magic.
This spell, can you target multiple creatures, or is it just one creature?
You can if you roll the damage right, but right now it's just one creature.
Okay.
But
Gotcha.
it can potentially hit multiple.
That's
Okay.
so cool.
So roll that damage first, and then we'll do wild magic after everything is done.
Great.
Is this on the last leg elf guy that we've been attacking, or is it different?
I didn't aim. I mean, I threw it at zombies, and they were all kind of clumped together. So I was just kind of like hit zombie. I aimed away from March, obviously, because I said her name. But
Can I scream like everybody down?
But my eyes, you can tell that my eyes sometimes close a little bit when I'm casting a spell. If you're looking, so yeah.
Okay, so do you want me to just choose which zombie this is going to go for?
You can choose which zombie. Absolutely.
Okay, I will roll for that.
Nice.
That is. Oops. That is 13 points of. I will tell you what type of damage. That is 13 points of as a whirling ball goes color to color to color to switching, it settles on this purple, this dusky purple color, as it hits the zombie and does 13 points of psychic damage.
Oh, okay. So this ball bursts forward, and not really seeing where it's going, it ends up hitting the zombie that March just made contact with.
Ah.
And March, you're looking at this zombie. You're getting ready to attack once more, and you can see this ball, and the psychic energy blows up its brain. And its exposed brain that you had just, hit the face off of, explodes, and it sort of.
Is it gonna get all over me?
Yeah, a little bit of brain gets on you.
I hope my shield
but this zombie, the head completely explodes, and it falls to its knees and drops dead once more.
Nice. First kill.
I'm gonna have you roll your wild magic surge now, Olma.
Oh, boy.
What do I need to roll above?
Roll a d20. Since this is your first one, as long as you don't roll a natural 1.
Are we we're not counting session 0?
No.
Okay.
No way.
Shut up.
No way.
Oh no.
I rolled a 2.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Jeez.
Wow.
We all just honestly held our breath.
That could have been
Wow.
very bad.
Or
Okay.
very good. You
Or
don't
very
know.
good. Yeah.
So the wild magic within you almost sparks to life, but you're able to keep it at bay. Is that the end of your turn?
That is the end of my turn. I'm shaking a little
Perfect.
bit. I'm still kneeling.
Okay. Next up in the initiative is Shraya. You have 2 zombies in front of you. One of them, the elven zombie, is pretty hurt, and the other one has been untouched. What would you like to do?
The other one, you mentioned the one that's still standing but damaged is elven in its original life form. What is the other one?
Yes.
In its original life form?
Human.
Human. Okay. How large is this human?
Pretty well built, but looks like it's been dead for a couple days, so the muscles have begun to decay
Okay.
and sort of wither down a little bit.
This may require a lot of successful rolls, but I'm going to try it. So I sort of lurch low, pull out my wings, and I mutter under my breath,
Find your eternal rest in the elemental plane of air.
and I sort of explode forward with my talons outstretched, and I'm going to attempt to plunge them into this human zombie and carry it up as far into the air as I can.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That's cool.
Sure.
Shit.
So, what we're going to do here, you're just going
Okay.
to make a regular talon attack because Aarakocras have those talon attacks. If you are successful in that attack, then... Actually, no, this is just going to be a grapple attack. This is just going to be a straight grapple attack, and then you're going to see if you can carry him off. So that's going to be contested athletics check. So why don't you make an athletics check for me?
Athletics.
It's actually your athletics
Gotcha.
versus
Okay.
his dexterity.
Zombies shouldn't be very dexterous.
He rolled a 15
I rolled an
for his
18.
dexterity. Oh,
Nice.
nice. So you have him grappled, and you are able to keep him in the air for 1 round before you have to start making strength checks to see if you can keep him up in the air. So, you successfully grappled this zombie, and you're still in intent, so you're only able to take him up about 15 feet. But you guys are now 15
All right.
feet above the ground.
That is, I don't have any bonus actions or extra movement that could take me any higher, so I'm just going to keep on that trajectory to end my turn.
Okay. Very cool. Very surprised at what's happening and very confused. The zombie that you are currently holding on to is going to try and break free of your grapple. So I'm going to need another athletics check from you to see if you can hold that grapple.
Ooh.
Oh, he rolled pretty well again. He got
Damn it.
a
I got a
15.
14. Ah.
So close.
Wait, do I add
Okay.
anything to athletics, that's strength, right? Or no, my strength is shit.
Yes.
Nope.
But the benefit is for you, he is 15 feet up in the air, so he's going to take a little bit of fall damage here as he plummets back towards the ground.
Yeah, he is. Nice.
Yeah.
You meant to do that. You meant to
Right.
bring him
That
up
was
and
the
drop
goal.
him. That was the goal.
As he drops vertical and he drops onto his feet, like he drops in a standing position. But as he makes contact with the ground with a thud, you can see his knees sort of buckle in and his legs break a little bit. As he takes
Is he still standing now?
So
7
much.
points of fall damage. He is still standing.
Okay.
So much ow.
Very out.
Okay, and then with that, we're at the top of the initiative. So, Kalik, what would you like to do?
Right, so one of them are any of them dead yet? Or is it just
Yeah, so one of the humans is dead.
Right.
And then you've got
Further
the
dead.
elven zombie and the other human zombie who have both taken damage at this point.
Right. Well, I will go for the elven zombie. I'm just gonna step up and try. Where are his like pre-existing wounds?
So it looks like the wound that originally killed him went from about his left shoulder down through his torso. It looks like either a sword or an axe sort of cut him through his chest. And then, he's got the stab wound from where Flynn originally stabbed him.
So I'm just going to try and take my sickle and just like pull whichever side looks thinner apart from the center of the thing. I'm just going to grab it and pull. So I'll make an attack roll.
Nice, make an attack roll.
That's a 19 to hit,
Yeah, for sure.
and it's a 1d4, baby.
Okay.
5 points of slashing damage.
Nice. So you run up and you're using your sickle, correct?
Right.
You dig your sickle into where the wound, the original wound ends, and you rip and you continue to rip that wound straight through as the two halves of him now slide off of each other as it collapses to the ground dead.
That paid off.
Okay. Is that the end of your turn?
That will be, yes.
Nice. Okay, Flynn, you are up next. Kellic just ran up and sliced the zombie that was right in front of you in half. There's one more zombie that appears to have his legs broken.
So there's only, is there one? That's it? One left?
There's one left.
Yes. I'll change my angle and just run up to that one. And then I'll call out to March. And I'll just be like, let's go, this one right here. And I'll thrust in and just get a stab at its chest. Because I can't aim for its head because he's too high.
Nice. Make an attack roll.
Sure.
Ooh.
That is 10?
10 hits.
Hey, let's go. Okay, I'll get some damage here.
Yeah, roll your damage.
Ooh. 8 points of piercing.
Ooh, nice. Another great hit on this guy. He is still standing.
Yeah, I mean, that's all I can do at the moment. So, yeah, I'll just turn over to Kalik, give him a nod and a smile and a wink, and just kind of do my phalanx kind of thing with my shield on this last guy.
I just look at him blankly, just complete stone-faced, just confusion.
All right. With the end of Flynn's turn, next up is March.
How far away are Flynn and the last remaining zombie now?
Right now, they're 10 feet in front of you.
Okay, so March has not moved when Flynn said, "March, this one." March did nothing. She didn't. She didn't even. She was like, "Yeah, no, have fun." But now she's gonna kind of do a quick sigh, and she would like to run up to this guy and try and do the same thing because she saw that Flynn was basically going towards the hips, like she's just gonna try and actually hit in the head. And she felt that the last hit was somewhat effective, so perhaps she'll try the same thing again.
Okay, make an attack roll.
I have to do math now. 22.
Yeah, 22 for sure hits.
Nice.
Roll your damage.
Seven.
7 points was exactly what you needed. So you swing your hammer around and aiming for its head once again. Your hammer meets no resistance as it hits this thing's temple, and completely takes its head off of its shoulders. It collapses to the ground, dead once more. And we are now out of initiative as you guys have 3 re-dead zombies laying in front of you.
Damn, March. That was awesome.
Do you think we should have talked to them? What was that? There was a lady and a body, and I don't really like it when things that are dead start talking to me.
Yeah, I mean, I think because they were dead, that means we stabbed them. At least that's what I think. But I mean, maybe we can talk to them still. I don't really know how this works.
No. I meant alive. I may have overreacted. Really sorry. Oma, where are you? Oma, are you okay? Where are you? You okay? How you feeling? You
I'm
good?
right here. I'm good. All good. I was further back, you know.
Yeah,
I stay a little further back than you guys. But March, how many times do I have to tell you, don't get right in front of me? It makes it so hard. We have this conversation almost every day.
Oma, what was that? What did you do? That was crazy.
Yeah, that happens sometimes.
Cool. And I'll turn to Kalek and just be like, hey, what's up, man? That was a good job.
Yeah, you too. Well done.
Yeah.
Especially for your not first adventure. That was quite a good show.
Yeah, it's they train you up good at the Ironlight Collective.
I kind of move my head up about 15 feet into the ceiling. Oh, that's what he meant by Earthwalker.
Yeah, he can fly.
Oh, I get it. Can you carry people?
I'll hold my arms out. And I'll look up at him. I don't know if he can do it, but I'll hold my arms out and be like, yeah, we did it once.
I mean, I know you can, like, pick them up and drop them, but, like, can you take them places?
Can I hear them? I'm
Like
going to
us?
imagine that I didn't mean to drop the zombie as I was, like, continuing to go higher.
Yeah, well, you're still within the tent, and the
Okay.
tent is only about 15 feet tall. So
Gotcha.
yeah, you're hovering right at about the top of the tent.
Okay, great.
I'm practicing with greater and greater weights to carry. Right now, I think I would only be able to carry the smaller ones.
I'm pretty small.
Me too.
Yeah, but I'm even smaller than you. I mean, I know I'm taller, but, like...
Yeah, as I look up at you. Well, we did it once earlier when we were on our way here. It worked out pretty good. He actually pulled me out of danger, so
Well, that seems like fun.
it was pretty fun. Maybe he'll do it with you sometime.
Oh my gosh, do you think he could do it when we... Are you guys going to that village that we're going to? Because, like, oh my god, that would be so fun if I could fly a little bit of the way there. I've never flown.
It was pretty.
And as I sort of
Magical.
calm down and like fan my way into a landing, I turn my head with like a renewed sense of purpose and I say,
But first we must make sure that no more of these creatures come at us out of surprise.
I turn to Kalek and I
I
say,
agree.
Right.
Do you have any means of burning the rest of these bodies? I can call forth some flame if necessary, but probably not the amount required to take care of this entire mass of bodies.
I look at the table between March and I where the rest of the shards are now covered by, like, a piece of wood. And I say, should we be worried about these?
Yeah, that's why I
will-
put the...
Take this moment to as I'm sort of taking the cue from Shraya and Alma to sort of mumble to myself, Bowkeeper, let me see what you see. Give me your eyes. Cedo oculos. And I will use Eyes of the Grave to and look at the crystals and see what I can see.
Could you read out for me exactly what Eyes of the Grave does? because that might depend.
Okay.
Interesting.
It is. Yeah, I'm curious. As an action, you can open your awareness to magically detect undead. Until the end of your next turn, you know the location of any undead within 60 feet of you that isn't behind total cover and isn't protected from divination magic.
Okay. No, you do not see any source of undead from these crystals.
Right. Well,
Nor do you see undead remaining
in any of
within
the
this
bodies.
room. Yes.
Could I could I turn to Shraya?
Mhm.
And I'll Shraya, does this look familiar to any of the stuff that's in the forest or the town that you're from? Is this
DM,
is this what it
based
was?
on my experience of what I've seen with the dark haunting energy of what me and my group of elves had encountered before?
Based on your experience, no. This was like zombies physically came to life and there was like a physical presence there, whereas you've experienced something that wasn't as physical or wasn't as present in the material plane.
Not to my knowledge. This is an entirely new type of undead energy.
Interesting. New mystery.
I turn to March and I would say, how did you come upon these crystals stuck and embedded in your arm? That may be the place we start here.
While he says that, can I like walk over to the tin and pick it up? That has the crystals in it? Can I just take a look, kind of like swish around, like I'm swishing a drink, and just switch it around and like look at them and roll them around? And can I like see if there's any type of magical essence to these things? Or like, do I know what this is?
Yeah. As you're doing that, we'll let March continue talking to Kalik here. Just finish that.
Yeah.
We have this conversation as well, my eyes are still, they're like smoking ashen swirls of just white and orange flame.
I don't. There's not a straightforward answer to that, if I can be completely honest with you there.
March, we got a little separated. Was that what Ayer was looking for?
I think it might have been. All I know is that a box was opened. I forget who opened. I think maybe Kura opened the box, or Ayer, or somebody opened the box, and the next thing I know was they were arguing about it, and then I was waking up to fire everywhere. That's all I remember.
Right. Well, I'm in agreement with Shraya that we should burn the bodies. Jarnan, do you think we could take these to the pit?
You see Jarnan is very shaken up. He hasn't seen anything like this. He was sort of cowering in the corner. And he goes, yeah, I mean, let's get these things out of here as soon as we can. We can take them over to the pit. I would prefer not to touch them, though.
I got it.
DM, were there any bodies laying dead outside the tent as well when we first walked up?
On your approach, no.
Okay.
No, the only...
And she dimension doored right out of the tent, right?
Yes.
Okay.
How many bodies roughly are around us?
Right now there are 3.
3 corpses, 2
3 corpses.
living people. I'm sleeping.
Now there is 1 unconscious body. There were 5 originally.
Oh, okay.
3 of them were made into zombies. 1 of them was taken over by this essence.
Okay.
And then 1 of them is still laying unconscious from their wounds. The one laying unconscious is a dwarven man, for your reference.
I'll
that guy.
keep looking.
Okay. As you are looking at these things, sort of swirling them around in the tin, make an Arcana check for me.
EFO. Oh, it was like on 20, and then it rolled off a 20.
Ooh.
7.
7?
Yeah.
It looks like these things have some sort of magical essence inherently to them, but you can't really tell if they're active or dangerous or really what.
So do I get the sense that it's more of a arcanic nature and less of an undead type of force? It's like seems like magic and not like, I don't know.
It's some sort of magic. You can't tell if it's necrotic or not.
Okay. I'll put it back on the
Undead in
table.
nature or not.
I'll put it back on the table and I'll put the clipboard back on it. Set it there. Because I think it worked.
It's safe to say we shouldn't leave those lying around. Yeah.
No.
I don't want them cracking and releasing anymore.
Do you think there will be anybody in the next town over that might be able to investigate them a little further? I mean, if Xavier were here, he could do it, but he's not here, and I don't know where he is, so...
I don't know who that is, but if we take him to the Ironlight Collective, I'm sure somebody there will know.
All my contacts are useless to me now, so there's places you could take it maybe, but I can't go with you.
Our contacts know what they are, but considering where we came from,
They will kill us.
Yeah.
Can we get like a little
look,
insight?
let's just be honest. Oma, they seem fine. They did bring us back, and then, the wet bird flew up in the air and dropped a zombie, and this Flynn short. What are we?
You want to go with them?
We should probably just be honest and say that if these people find us, they potentially will kill us, and by potentially I mean absolutely will.
I mean, they're probably looking for this. Let's be honest. If this is what was in the box, and I don't know because I wasn't there, but if this is that, then they're definitely looking for us. Unless they're dead. Maybe they're dead.
Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be lovely to think about? Who wants to leave?
As they're having this conversation, I think maybe I've solicited Jarnan's help and just like loading the bodies onto a wheelbarrow.
Yeah. You guys have a couple of wheelbarrows at your disposal, and you're able to load the bodies onto.
We've done this. We've had a lot of practice.
Unfortunately,
burning
you
bodies.
guys have done this before.
As they were talking there, we were all in the room, so like we were hearing them talk and discuss, right?
Yes.
So are you gonna tell us? You mentioned you guys gonna be honest, and then now we're leaving. Do we need to know anything to help protect you, or I'm confused?
I don't think we need protection. I think we're fine.
You guys were both unconscious.
Yeah,
okay.
but they didn't do that to us. Don't be silly.
The explosion did that to us.
Yeah, there was an explosion, which, sometimes buildings explode for weird reasons. Like for no fault of our own. Sometimes buildings just explode, okay? Why are you coming at me?
I'm not. You okay?
I don't think we should let them go. Man becomes an informer when they cannot be soldiers.
What he said. Also, I really think you guys could help us save Shraya's village. I'd really like for you guys to come with us, and then we can head to Addersfield right after, and get a lot of questions answered.
I'm sorry. I have a question. Shraya, Mamalama.
The second way you said it is
Shraya. Okay. I have a question. Well, we just saw a half-orc arise from the dead with some type of wizard woman inside of him. And they brought a bunch of bodies back to life. Now, I don't know what's happening at your village, but if you were to put those both on a scale, which one would you do first? Because that seems really crazy to me, like something that probably should be fixed right away. Because who knows how many bodies she's gonna bring back to life that are gonna start killing people.
But like maybe there's something way worse happening at your village because that's also possible. So like on the grand scheme of world-ending catastrophes,
I'll state
where
my
do these
purpose
fall?
again. I think we should burn what remains of these undead beings, and then I feel I must.
As he says this, me and Jarnan are bringing the wheelbarrow back and going out again. we're making
Nice.
And then I think I must report back to those who would find this turn of events very interesting indeed.
Okay.
Would find
Okay,
this
so I'm
check-
gonna unpack that for a second. Burn the bodies and then find out what's going on with the stones and find the girl, right? So village is.
Yes, I think my
Did I unpack
superiors must know of this as soon as possible.
that right? Oh, okay. So going to the village for your superiors, not going to this
you think-
other guild.
Do you think the villagers might have insight? Is that what you're saying, Shraya? Do they might know what these crystals are?
There is a chance. I have somewhat experience. I haven't examined these crystals yet myself.
Could I take a look at them?
Yeah, sure.
I'll lift off the clipboard as he reaches for him.
For you can make either a nature or arcana check.
Nice.
Nature's
on
going to
these
be better for
crystals. Okay.
Eat it.
me. That is a... Uh, 18.
18. You look at these and you're looking in and you sort of know people's auras and their essences, and you're really good at sort of seeing into people. And you look at these crystals and you feel the same sort of aura of a person within this crystal. Some sort of essence is housed within these crystals.
I can't see far, but these crystals are housing a spirit of some sort. I think the elven brotherhood, sisterhood that I've come from might know more about how we can divine more about what they actually mean.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yeah.
Would I know just from my map setup and everything? Are
Mhm.
we closer to Addersfeld or his village?
You guys are a little bit closer to his village up in the Shadow Timberland to the north.
Cool.
It's going to be a little ways of a journey into the forest, but it is a little bit of a shorter distance
Okay.
there. Addersfeld is directly to the east, and the commune within the forest is just about northeast.
Okay, so Flynn will kind of pipe up after he says that. Kind of. Also, if we go to his village, it's actually a little closer than Addersfeld, so we can actually potentially kill two birds with one stone. Sorry, Shraya,
I do
I
not
didn't
like
mean it
that
that way.
expression.
Sorry, I'm sorry. But we might be able to get answers about the crystals and save his village. And if they don't have all the answers, then we can head to Addersfeld right afterwards.
I put down the wheelbarrow and I. Yeah, and besides, the creature's village is in trouble. I mean, that takes precedence over some mysterious. We don't have any idea what came out of those crystals. If Shraya's got a need for help, then we should provide it. I hate the idea of him losing anything more of his home.
Also, if you want, I can sweeten the pot a little bit, and maybe if we successfully help him with his village, I can maybe give you guys a little bit of gold. If you guys want. I don't have a lot, but
March and I are very used to doing tasks for gold. So,
Ben.
I mean, if you want somebody to join you guys, we're pretty good at it.
She didn't
I
mean it
like
to come
it.
out the way it sounded.
No, I did.
I take a look at the crystals again.
What are you talking about? I meant exactly what I said.
Am I still holding the crystals? Or was
Yeah, they're still within this little tin.
Okay. I'm going to grab the tin very quickly and say,
I can hold on to these.
for safekeeping, as my eyes sort of get a little bit wider as I bring them toward my face and then tuck them.
before he tucks them, can I say, like, maybe we should put a lid on them or encase them so they are safe? And I'll turn to the dwarf. I've forgotten his name already.
Jarnan.
He goes, I've got a box you guys can use. I got a little trinket box that you guys could use.
And it's a souvenir. 2 birds. One
You-
stone.
Hey.
You can hold on to the dwarven crafted vessel if you'd like. I have no need for that.
Oh, can I take the box that he presents?
Yeah,
And
it's
I'll
just
walk
like a
over-
simple little box to hold herbs.
Yeah, I'll walk over. It's empty, right?
Yeah, it's empty.
I'll walk over to Shraya and I'll just open it and kind of present it to him and be like, you could put the crystals in here, shut the box, so then they don't rummage around your bag and potentially mess with stuff. Also, I feel like containing them might be a good idea, and you can definitely hold on to them. It seems like you're the one that might have the most understanding of what they are, but I'd feel a lot better if they were, encased in something. So I kind of want you to take it.
I
I'll
have
kinda,
no
nudge
need
him with it.
for dwarven crafted boxes. I'll say it again. I don't even need to put them in my bag. I can keep them right here between my feathers. They will not move.
So you want them to be pressed up against your body. Man, I didn't really understand what they did when I looked at them, but I just have a feeling that that's probably not a good idea.
I'm more than willing to take that risk.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll take the
Before,
box then, and I'll take the box and I'll put it in my bag.
Before Shraya fully pulls them and hides them away, I just want to kind of take a couple steps forward and sort of glance down at them and sort of like have almost flicker of processing in my mind. Shake my head. When are we going? Food, water, supplies now? Great, awesome. Olma, shall we?
We can't take any supplies from here. This
Yeah,
this
Kaylee,
camp's
we don't.
already.
There's nothing we can.
I wouldn't want to deprive
Right.
the people here. It's hard enough. as
Yeah,
it
I
is.
think, I think we've got stuff and we can forage.
If you
I
are
mean,
famished,
We'll be fine.
And I sort of tap my forehead against the crystal in the top of my staff, lift my 4-fingered hand up almost to where March is, because I can't quite reach where she is. And these little seeds emerge in my hand, and one by one they sort of, like a time lapse, they speed up and start sprouting little bulbs and sort of build and stack and stack and stack and stack on each other until they're kind of overflowing. These berries are overflowing out of my hand, and I say,
this could be nourishing to you if this is your taste.
It's quite a trick there.
That was pretty cool. I won't lie about that. Haven't seen that before.
Do you hand it out to the group or just someone's particular?
Just,
I'm offering them toward March, since she mentioned that she was, in need of supplies or food or what have you.
Thank you. I'm gonna take some and immediately, just instinctually, hand half to Olma.
Nice.
Like, here you go. Eat. I know you're gonna tell me you don't want to eat. I know you're gonna tell me you want meats, and I know that you're gonna tell me all this. I don't really care. You were passed out on a stretcher, because the last thing I remember, we were in a warehouse. So we should
Do
probably
these do
really
anything
take-
other than feed you?
They are purely for
valuable?
nourishment. I do not know if you crave extra abilities or any types of altered states, but these
I was just curious.
these will only nourish you.
Oh, okay. I was just curious because, I knew a guy once who could, make things like this, and they, made you feel really good. These aren't those, though, right?
Again,
They are not
only
psychedelic
nourish you.
bulbs.
I am psychedelic. I don't think that's what I meant, but okay. And I just, toss them back.
I'll turn to Jarnan and sort of gesture to the one remaining body and just make sure he makes it out alive. I'd appreciate if we could get 1 out of 5 wounded people to safety, to successful recovery.
Man, these
You have my
percentages.
word.
He's a bit of an asshole, so just be aware of that. But,
I
look
will
after
keep
him.
that in mind, but you have my word that I'll do my best.
I know. Shraya, do you want to lead the way?
Onward to new horizons.
Are we leaving the tent?
Yes.
Oh,
Oh, right.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let's do that.
Oh, boy.
Never gonna let it go.
Oh, my God.
So I do see like a person dying, and I do have kind of realized at this point that like this is a place for healing, and that these people are in dire straits, and they only have 3 potions left. But also, I just can't help it. I just can't stop it. I can't. So I am going to attempt to stealthily swipe it as I go by.
Okay. Make a stealth check.
Stealth or sleight of hand?
As
As we're walking past it.
Make it sleight of hand. Yeah.
Now, I've been planning it. So do I potentially get advantage?
The DC is going to be a little bit lower, but you do not get advantage.
I just like, give it a shot. That is a 17 plus 5.
17 plus 5. You successfully grab the healing potion.
I'm just going to grab one.
One.
Because, like,
you successfully grab one healing potion.
I can't stop it, but I also know that they have value. So
Nice.
That
Okay.
is such a high roll.
Yeah. That was great.
I would totally have stopped you if it was below my passive perception.
Nice.
So, as you guys are leaving the medical tent with zombies defeated behind you and a world awaiting in front of you, that is where we're going to end our first session of Venture Forth. That was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with that. I hope you guys did too.
Yeah.
But that is where we're going to call it. We can't wait to see you guys all next week. And we'll see you then. Bye.
Hey, everybody, this is Cameron. I do the character of Shraya on Venture Forth. Just wanted to take a moment. Thank you for listening. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Reddit, and YouTube if you're not already. Also, if you'd like, you can check us out on Patreon. And if you'd like to support what makes the podcast possible, please feel free to support. Also, we're on Clubhouse. So if you're on Clubhouse, feel free to drop in on Thursdays where we do our weekly Dungeons & Dragons chat or one-shot. And those tend to be a lot of fun. So have a great week ahead. Thanks again for listening, and see y'all again next week.